Hey guys, it's Nova, and welcome to The Shadows That Rung Alongside Our Car. And that is a mouthful of a title. I stumbled across this game on itch.io when looking for new stuff to play on the channel. And it interests me in the fact that it was another visual novel type game. And I didn't really know much about this game. Like, I looked at the description on the page where you download the game, and it was vague enough that it caught my interest. And I'm going to actually just read it to you guys really briefly. It says, "The road is long. Two strangers sit side by side as night falls over. The car speeds down the open highway. Without a soul around them, everything seems to slip away. On a journey to no one knows where, all they have is words and time, and that time is dwindling fast. The shadows are chasing." And that is basically it. So I am intrigued to find out what that could possibly mean. So yeah, let's just go ahead and get started. Oh, okay. Whose eyes will you see the road through? I guess I'm gonna be a little biased here, and I'm gonna click the woman. I'm gonna see. I bet you there's gonna be like different endings and different choices depending on who you play as. So, got a feeling this is gonna be a multi-video let's play. But in any event, let me click on the girl. Gun it. Okay, I'm gonna have to get some voices in mind. I lay back against the passenger seat. It's weird, sitting on this side of the car. But my stomach's been feeling off for a while and I just can't drive. And so I handed my keys over to the stranger. What's the... Okay, we're off to a very interesting start. What's the worst that could happen, right? I stare out the window, watching the unchanging scenery whiz by. There's an awkward silence, but I don't feel like filling it. It's so stuffy in the car. I reach for the window control button and let the window roll open. You sure that's a good idea? It's not like zombies are just going to hurl themselves at a moving car. Okay, so we got a zombie apocalypse thing going on. I guess that's what the shadows are referring to. Okay. Oh, I think that's her. Okay. Well, who knows? Maybe they would. Fair enough. The slight breeze feels good against my neck. This guy looks like he wants to say something. So, guess this is kind of strange to be asking after 3 whole days, but what's your name anyway? Yeah, that is a bit of a delay to ask somebody that if you've been around them that long. Right, we never did introduce ourselves. It's... Oh, I get to choose a name? I'll leave it as it is. I mean, that's nice that they gave me that choice, but I'll leave it as it is. So she's considered Shelby? Okay. Shelby. Well, nice to officially meet you then, Shelby. Names. Oh, you get to choose both of their names. That's actually kind of cool. I actually haven't seen that in a while for a visual novel. Usually, the character's name is set in stone, and in some rare instances, you get to choose the protagonist's name, but not... Okay, that's neat. Alright, so I'm gonna leave that alone too. Dustin. Okay. They are so awkward. He looks dissatisfied. How is he expecting me to react? It's not like I really care, but somehow he doesn't look very much like a Dustin. I continue Boy, I need to get new glasses. I continue staring out of the window. The sky is so red. Normally I'd think it was pretty, but now it's just depressing me. Bad things come out after dark. I remember that all too well. I'd rather not think about that, so I decided to break the silence after all. So, what were you doing before everything happened? Oh. He looked surprised. I guess I haven't been talking much since we met. Maybe I shouldn't have said anything. You know, this and that. I've never really settled into one thing in particular. What does that mean? Okay, first choice. Well, I'm not gonna say that's weird. Wow, maybe I Dag, Shelby? Whatever. It's not like I actually care. Or maybe she's thinking in her head. I hope she's thinking in her head. I've yet to figure out how the dialogue bubbles work in this game. I think the ones where it's not colored in, it's when she's thinking it in her head, and when it's colored, it's when she's actually saying it out loud. I hope, because that's pretty rude to say out loud. Whatever. It's not like I actually care. I just wanted to pass the time. What about you? This ride is yours, right? Okay, yeah, it definitely is that. Yeah. Well, it's really my dad's car. Or was. Even when he was alive, though, I was the only one who ever drove it. After Dad got that third DUI, his license was revoked. He used that as an excuse to never leave the house. It was just as well anyway. Sometimes he'd leave the car somewhere and forget where. Guess he didn't. Sorry, never mind. I'm feeling surprisingly calm about this. It's like I'm on the outside looking in. I wonder if I'm really that callous. Maybe the apocalypse is just giving me more perspective. It's okay. The booze would have killed him eventually anyway. That's pretty dark. Okay, time looks like it's passed. And more awkward silences. Pretty quiet in here, huh? Yeah, take a hint already. Surprisingly, not much noise at the end of the world. Still. Do you think there's any radio stations left? I'd be pretty shocked if so. Reckon it couldn't hurt to look, though. I reached towards the console and turned the radio dial in one direction. There's nothing but static. Sometimes metallic screeching. Ooh. Gotta turn that down. Great. Hang on a sec. Go back. See, now I don't know if this is him or her. I'm guessing that's maybe him, because he's driving. What did he say exactly? There couldn't really be something there, could there? I slowly rotate the knob back the other way. Wait. There it is, I think. Is that mariachi? Okay. Oh my god. Oh my god, I cannot believe. Out of all the music that could be playing, this is what we get? What am I thinking? Of course it is. Of course we're on a highway to hell in the dark, and mariachi is the only music available to us. The combination of Spanish vocals and horns on the track are completely ridiculous right now. I'm actually dying. The dulcet tones of this fabulous man are actually killing me. That was not what I was expecting. Who the hell's out there running this? Of all the music that would be left, man, it takes me a minute to settle down, but then, wait, isn't this the same song again? It's probably on an endless loop, because why wouldn't it be? Typical. Sure seems that way. Guess it's just ghosts on the waves after all. And the undead aren't exactly interested in DJing. What do you think a zombie'd even listen to? Is death metal too obvious of an answer? Rob Zombie? Or maybe they're all into baby metal these days? I don't know. I think the Grateful Dead seems more apt. You know, I've always wondered this, but what are they grateful for exactly? Maybe they found themselves some peace. Peace, huh? I wish they... Peace, huh? I wish they'd let the rest of us have some. Ain't so bad right now, anyway. Well, except for that. He gestures towards the console. 101.7 is now the Infinite Loop Mariachi radio station. So, what are you into anyway? Music-wise. Oh, God, I cannot tell these two apart. It's not that easy at first glance. Music-wise, I really like... You know, I've seen this name before, but I've never actually listened to their music. Analyst Morset. Top 40 hits. That sort of thing. Not like I had a lot of free time to explore my musical taste or anything. You? And don't tell me it's baby metal. Will you judge me if I say I actually haven't heard of them? No, that might be for the best. Hey now, they're not that bad. They're different, but they're not bad. He doesn't have to know that I... Oh, okay. I take that back. I forgive you. He doesn't have to know that I unironically like baby metal. What do you listen to then? Most people look at me and expect me to be into the Stones or Marley or something, but... Well, you'll probably actually judge me more for this. Try me. Okay, I wasn't expecting that. ABBA. Yes, same facial reaction. Oh my God, I cannot keep a straight face. Okay, you know what? Hold on a second, guys. Okay, I had to... Sorry for that, guys. I had to go in and turn down the radio volume because it was just too much. I know it won't sound as loud when I go to edit the video, but it was deafening in my ears, and I didn't even have it at the halfway mark. In any event, I lose it. Everything is just too much. He looks kind of sullen. I'm sorry, Dustin, but not that sorry. Told you. Aw. No, it's fine. Their music's catchy. I managed to get these words out. All this laughing's making my stomach hurt more. Damn it. I mean, my parents listen to ABBA, but it's fine. Your parents? Yeesh. How old are you anyway? You seem a bit young for... How old do you think I am? I'm pretty sure there's no right answer to that question. Except for that one. I'm 22. What kind of reaction is that? What do you want him to say? No, whoa. Okay, don't be vain. No, whoa, you look so young or anything like that. I wonder how old Dustin is anyway. This music's kind of similar to ABBA, isn't it? All peppy and stuff. You should be happy to have it. That's sure an optimistic take on it. Alright, enough of you. Thank you. We all thank you. Nothing against mariachi music, but no thank you right now. He purposely reaches over and shuts off the radio. He's got a surprisingly immature side to him, too. Did you ever expect things to end up this way? What? Where did that come from all of a sudden? I don't see what changing the subject immediately is going to solve. I mean, it's something I think that does need to be addressed. Plus, I'm just curious. And I'm assuming if I just say well, not say, but if I pause, maybe that means my character is going to think about the matter before she comments on it. Let's see. Why do you have to ruin the mood like that? Well, I'm sorry, Shelby, but I do think that is something you're going to have to address at some point. You've been in the car with him for 3 days. I think at some point that question's going to come up. And she changes the subject anyway. Why do I even control you? It's getting dark, huh? The sun sets so late in the summer. Okay, at least we know when this takes place, sort of. I'm a bit surprised we still have any light out at all at this hour. Especially without the street. Oh wow, that's dangerous. Especially without the street lights and all. Shit, I remember back in, I think it was in 2003. Yeah, it was in 2003. And New York had a blackout. Like, New York City had a blackout. And it was the weirdest thing. And I was working in Midtown at the time. And it was daylight when I left work. So, thankfully there was that. But the fact that there was no electricity in the city, I was basically stranded in Midtown, and I literally had to walk from Midtown all the way to Brooklyn to get home. And yeah, it wasn't a fun experience. It was kind of dangerous too in some parts because cars were driving all crazy and stuff. So I can't even imagine driving down a highway with no streetlights. I mean, I know the cars got headlights, but still. In any event, it's like the sky's just been saving it up. Looks a bit like a dying fire. That sounds kind of morbid, but kind of fitting for the end of the world. And now it's silent again for a little while, but it doesn't last. So you never really told me what it is that you do. I mean, doesn't have to be a job or anything, but well, what do you like to do? Or what did you do before everything? Like to do, huh? I turn my eyes to the window as I think on my life. Actually, I worked a lot. I didn't really have time for much other than that. I would wake up, shower, go to work, have a lunch break, back to work, get off work, eat dinner, and watch TV for a few minutes before passing out. And then the whole thing would start over again in the morning. Oh my god, this sounds so familiar. Back when I was working full-time, yeah, this was basically me in a nutshell. Kind of depressing when you think about it because, yeah. I mean, having a routine is not bad, but when you get into a rut like that, or when you feel like this is basically all that your life has devolved into, that's a bit depressing. And then the whole thing would start over again in the morning. That was about it. And after leading such a boring life, I ended up here. I'm probably not even going to go... God, this is so morbid. And right at the end of that other Let's Play I just did, boy, I'm probably not even going to go out with a bang. My death's gonna be just as dull as my life. You getting too real, Shelby. I guess that'd be most people's story. It's tough out there. Gizmo, please. It's tough out there. Was tough. Probably tougher now. Huh. All kind of pointless in the end, isn't it? You work your damn tail off and everything goes to pot anyway. And you just wonder why you didn't spend your time better, you know? I'm not gonna lie, that is deep, because that's how I feel, personally. That's actually exactly how I feel about it, too. I'm surprised that I'm actually able to relate to him. Yeah. But I guess that doesn't matter either way. Zombies don't care whether you're a good or bad person. We're all gonna die anyway. So what about you? I'm sure you didn't spend all your time listening to ABBA. I used to travel a lot, looking for work and stuff. I suppose you could call me a bit of a nomad. Did he pack up? Did he? Yeah. I'm sorry, it's like the first thing I'm doing this morning. Did he backpack across Europe or something? What does nomad mean in this context? I think it means exactly what I've known it to mean. And the background noise. Okay, sorry about that, guys. I had to pause for a moment because it got very noisy in the background, and it didn't make sense to try and record while all that was going on. And I guess I'm just gonna have to forge through because it's still going on. But yeah, what does nomad mean in this context? Well, whatever. That sounds really... Wait a minute, I would expect that from her, not him, to say that. I don't know if that's an error on... Okay, whatever. That sounds really cliche. Oh, okay, yeah, I guess that was him. Not really, it sort of suits you. To tell the truth, I haven't really had much purpose in a while. I've just been getting by. Oh my god, Dustin, you're hitting too close to home here. When you can't find something to do, you sort of lose yourself. It gets to a pretty dark place. Yeah. Oh my god, Dustin. Dustin. This is too close to home and too soon after. Don't take this risk. Got to the point I used to wish I could just take a vacation from life. Guess I got my wish, didn't I? I used to wish for that too. I wanted to be free. I didn't want to be responsible for Dad anymore. And now I'm not. But I can't say whether that's really a good thing or not. Wishes never do come true the way you expect them to, huh? Yeah, monkey's paw. My stomach starts to throb painfully. I look down and press my hand against it. It felt okay for a while there, but it's acting up again. The hell did you eat? You know what? It could be too. I know with me, which I don't have a problem with as much now, surprisingly, but when I was younger, I used to have, I don't know, it wasn't IBS, but maybe it was like an ulcer. I'm not really sure. Like, Basically, whenever I got really... Gizmo, please. Whenever I got really stressed out, like, my stomach would just hurt, like, intensely. Like, not even like you have to go to the bathroom type of pain. And I know that sounds a little TMI, but it's like, ooh. Although now I'm a little curious, because I just noticed she said, God, why did this have to happen? What are you talking about? Wait a minute. Did she... You know what? I'm not going to say anything right now in case I'm wrong. But I have a hunch. I have a hunch about something. Let's see if I'm right later. Still feeling nauseous? Damn, I shouldn't be so obvious about it. I don't want to cause any trouble. This might be causing even more trouble, though. Oh, yeah, it's gotten a little better, but... Anyway, I moved my hand away from my stomach. It's not like resting my hand... It's not like resting my hand there will make the pain go away. In a way, as long as I feel that pain, I know I'm still alive. That was morbid as hell. What is wrong with me? I'm just exhausted, which doesn't help things. You know how it is. You think we should stop and rest? I glance at the fuel gauge on the dashboard, nervous. We barely have 1/4 of the tank left as it is. Nah, like it or not, we'll be stopping soon anyway. Braking would just waste gas. Onward it is, then. Trying to ignore my pain. Excuse me, guys. Trying to ignore my pain, I keep my eyes on the endless road stretched out ahead of us. It really hurts now. I don't think I've ever been in this much pain in my life. And that's saying a lot considering what I had to go through every month. Yeah. Oh, God, I know that feeling. I deserve this, don't I? I shouldn't feel bad about it. I brought it on myself. Do you ever wonder, like, why us? How did we make it this far? And is it really such a good thing that we're still alive? From the moment I swung that baseball bat, I sealed my own fate. Just as I start to sink into really dark thoughts, I hear Dustin's voice. Honestly, I try not to think so hard about stuff like that. If I stop to wonder what my own life was worth, It's a dangerous train of thought. Come on, Nova. It's a dangerous train of thought, I'll tell you that. And, yeah, very true. We're here. That's what matters. Despite it all, we're here and we're safe. The how and why is just the garnish on the salad. That's a fancy way of looking at it. You know, I didn't believe it at first. I mean, that we were facing the apocalypse or whatever. So the first couple of months, I just kept working. Kept on, like everything was fine. And then I couldn't ignore it anymore. And then Dad. How do I even begin to explain? So this is interesting. Society didn't fall completely apart like it usually does in this kind of game, in these kind of games. Like if she was able to still go to work after, that's interesting. and different. I kind of like that, actually. Listen, you don't gotta answer me if you don't want, but your old man, what happened? My dad? I killed him. Please tell me he was, like, bitten at that point and you didn't just flat out go nuts and kill him? Or I smacked him in the head with a baseball bat and then ran like hell. Huh. So he needed more beer, right? Of course he did. He was a deadbeat alcoholic. But they wouldn't even let him in our nearby liquor store anymore, so he wandered off to another one. Just so happened that that part of town was infested. It took a while before I even noticed, since he really wasn't any different from usual. Now that's fucked up. Does it count as murder if you kill a zombie? I don't think in that context, no. I don't. Does it count as murder if you never get arrested because your town's entire police force is now undead? That's pretty pathetic, huh? But so was my dad. And so am I. And in the end, I won't be doing much better. My stomach is burning with pain now, and guilt. I stare out the window, seeing nothing but darkness. Who knows what could be lurking out there? Though that hasn't changed since way before, I guess. Hey. Aww. I feel a sudden war from the top of my hand. Hesitant at first, but then steady. Dustin's hand rests on top of mine. It feels alien somehow. I flinch. I don't think I'm used to comfort, but I know he means well. Probably. We're still here. Just remember that. Until that changes, there's still time. Things might never get any better. It'd be stupid to assume that they would. But while we're still breathing, there's hope. That's pretty cheesy, isn't it? Anyway, I'm sorry about that. About your dad, I mean. Even if you didn't get on with him, I bet it must be hard, losing someone that close to you. Wow. Where do I even start? You know what? He's trying to comfort us, and I think we should be open. I think we should be honest with him. Yeah, for some reason I feel like I can be honest with Dustin. Even though I barely know him, I trust him. Somehow. My mouth opens on its own and words spill out. Honestly, I felt relieved when he died. And then I felt awful for feeling relieved. But I spent 7 years of my life taking care of him. Oh, that's sad. And you're 22, so you spent... Yeah, that's sad. At the end of it all, I just felt free. Not that I got to enjoy that feeling of freedom for long. It makes me feel like a monster to admit all this to someone else. It really does. It makes you human, though, because I'm sure there are plenty of other people in your shoes right now, Shelby, or who have been in your shoes. So it's not a good feeling, but I can see where you're coming from, and I can't really like I can't really condemn you for feeling that way. I honestly can't. But that's the truth. I wouldn't worry too much. Yeah, exactly. There's no wrong way to feel. He's right. I know that I'm only human. Oh, fuck. Damn it, Shelby. Maybe I'm reading too much into this, but I feel like she just... I'm not a monster. Not yet, anyway. Oh my god. Okay, so in case if you guys haven't guessed it by now, what I was thinking earlier, I think Shelby got bitten somehow. I don't know if it was from her dad or by another zombie, but I have a sneaking suspicion that she might have gotten bitten. And this has contributed to the reason why she's been talking so morbid and kind of like centered on death. And her saying this right here, I don't know, this kind of makes me feel that she might have actually gotten bitten. But maybe I'm like reading too much into it. Maybe she just mean it in a metaphoric way, like how you're trying to stay human in this apocalyptic world, but you might have to do monstrous things to survive. I don't know. I kind of hope that's what she's implying, but her keep complaining about her stomach hurting. I guess I'm almost privileged. No one I cared about has been around in a long time. I wonder if there's anyone else still out there. I wonder if they're stuck out here like this. I wonder if we'll ever know. Dustin, the guilt is really getting to me now. Oh, jeez. I don't want to be right about this, though. I know, let's face it, ladies, we like to be right about things, but, you know, this is just not one of those scenarios where I want to be proven right. No. I have to say something. Damn it, Shelby, please. I'm interrupted by the sound of the engine giving out. I've heard this sound before. We're out of gas. Damn, did the fuel gauge light even come on? I didn't even notice. The engine cuts out and the car just rolls along until it completely stops. Before, I would have pushed it to the nearest gas station, but now, well, it's the end of the line, isn't it? I really thought the gas would last a little longer than that. Bound to happen sooner or later, wasn't it? He bought this car used, after all. It's cost efficient, but not so much fuel efficient. Wonder how far the next gas station is. Too far. It'd be nice if there were some signs around here or something. I can't believe we've gone this long without seeing any. Even if there were, it's not like we could have seen them. It's gotten so dark, and without the streetlights. Yeah, that's gotta be scary. Sitting in a car like that in the pitch blackness. My stomach feels like it's on fire. I don't think I have much time left. Oh, Shelby. Hey. Shelby, no. Hey, how fast do you think you can run? About average, I guess. Do you reckon we should? I touch my stomach. That hole isn't ever going to heal, is it? This really is it. I don't know. I don't know if there's a point. Even if Dustin was an Olympic sprinter, I don't think he'd be able to make it. Not forever. If not me, then someone else would just... Maybe not. It's too damn dark anyhow. Yeah, that's just as scary as being trapped in a car with her, because you don't know what you're running into out there. In all likelihood, one of us would probably trip and fall. Be pretty sad to make it this far just to die from a bust-up face. And that is the least of your problems right now. He can crack jokes because he has no idea. Knowing that just makes me feel like, why aren't you telling him? I mean, I get he doesn't want to, he would hate to hear that, but the longer you wait to tell him, the worse it's gonna be. Like, he's still buckled into the car. At least give him I can't. What do you mean you can't say anything now? Oh my god, I don't understand the logic. Why would you not tell him? Yeah, it would. Anyway, there's nothing we can do until the sunrise. Oh my god. This is not going to end well. This is not going to end well. This is not going to end well. Guess we're crashing here tonight then, huh? In more ways than one. Could be worse, and don't say that. Never say that in horror movies, thrillers, disaster movies, apocalyptic movies. You don't say that. That is the worst thing you could say. I'm sorry. I just can't. I don't want to see nothing bad happen to these characters who I've only known for a few minutes, but I feel especially bad for Dustin because he's just sitting there completely oblivious, and I'm like sitting here screaming from the other side of the screen for him to like just bail, just roll out. At least the air smells nice. Yeah. I close my eyes, feeling the throbbing of my wound. I don't know how long it'll take. How long will I be able to go on? I wish I'd done more than work. I wish I paid more attention to the news. For now, all I can do is rest. I've run far enough. Well, good night then. This is not good. The sunlight is completely extinguished. There's nothing but darkness on the endless stretch of land ahead. And you end it like that. Ugh. Well then, that was interesting. You know, now I'm wondering, are there like multiple endings? Because I mean, you can play as either character, and there weren't a lot of dialogue choices, but I'm wondering how much different the story would have changed if I said something differently. Guess I'll try to find out in a future episode, guys. I think I'm gonna call it an episode for now. I hope you enjoyed this, though. This is an interesting little read. And, yeah, if you enjoyed this episode, please hit the like button. And, yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Take care.